Hi, this is Jane Moore, and I'm talking to you from my studio in Oak Island, North Carolina. And I'd like to say a few words about tissue stamping. I find that I use it more than regular stamping in my artwork because I like the look for one thing, and it's much easier to lay them down on projects. You don't have to stamp on an uneven surface and not get a clear stamp. So what I do is stamp with tissue paper. I stamp onto tissue paper, and I always use a permanent ink, like I use archival ink or StazOn. Something permanent. If you use a regular dye ink, it has a tendency to bleed and it would run when you put the gel medium over it. But first of all, I stamped, like I did this bird, onto tissue paper, and then I kind of cut around the edges a little bit. I overlapped this one, put down some gel medium, and pressed it down, and I kind of made it run off the page, as you can see here. And then I went over it with some acrylic paints. I blended them with a little gel medium to make it more of a glaze that gives you a real see-through, because you don't want to cover up your stamp. Here's another example. What's cool about tissue stamps is that they become, transparent, and the words, the paper that you put underneath it, or the paint that you have underneath it, comes through, and you can see you end up with a really nice surprise. Like this cat's nose is pink and everything, and it came out from the paper. This is another thing that I did just when I was painting on a letter, and these are all three tissue stamps, this one and this one and this one. And after you put them down, you kind of paint around them, and it ends up looking like a painting. So I'm going to get started and show you how I do this. I've taken a plain little tiny canvas. I just painted it green, and then I took some words out of a book, that just random words that I like, the little saying. And then I've stamped onto tissue paper. You can use either side of it. And then I'm going to lay the bird down. First I put down the gel medium, and then I'm going to lay it down and then paint over it with the brush. So I'm going to demonstrate this, and you'll see how easy it is. The gel medium right here, and I've got some of the green acrylic paint that I used to paint the canvas with, and some blue paint over here, just regular craft paint. And what I'm going to do is put down some gel medium or Mod Podge or whatever, and then I'm going to put down my stamp, and you can use your brush to just smooth it over, get it around the edges. And I always tear or cut my tissue kind of close around the border, so it ends up fusing in with the background anyway. And then what I do is take a little green paint and go around the border. Sometimes I add just a little bit of gel medium with it to make a little bit of a glaze, so it's not too dark. But you can just kind of go in around the borders and all around. And this just kind of helps blend it in with the background a little bit more, even though the tissue doesn't show. And this kind of just makes it pop a little better. And after it dries, you really can't even see. And then you could take a different color, and this is like, if it's too blue, just like I said, add a lot of gel medium to make it a little more transparent. That was a little too blue, so we can just wipe some off. And take a little of the gel medium and mix with the blue to make it a little more transparent, because you want your lines to show in there. You don't want to cover up the whole stencil, the whole tissue stamp. And this gives you just a little bit of color. You can add some brown in there, and when it dries, it has color, and it just blends